Megan, and I'm back with another video about my detoxification journey and some cool things that happened during my detoxification journey. As you guys might already know, I had been detoxing with Dr. Robert Morse for about like 2 years last year, and I had a lot of success getting out like parasites, candida, and fixing my malabsorption in my body using his methods. So I kind of want to tell this just as a story about what happened, because it's a bit unbelievable, I understand, but knowing what I know about detoxification and everything like that, it is easily explained, and it's a really cool thing that happened. So the purple goo that I got out of my ear was actually old hair dye that I had basically backed up in my lymphatic system in my head from years of dyeing my hair fuchsia. So I'll put a picture right here of the color that my hair was for a few years, and I had this hair color for like probably like a year and a half or so, and I just used like box hair dye. I would dye my hair like every 6 months or so this color, and it was just a bright fuchsia, like it was bright pink. And basically hair dye has a lot of chemicals in it, especially if you're just using box hair dye from like Rite Aid, which is what I was doing. It's definitely not the best for your body at all. So knowing what I know about Dr. Morse, basically my lymphatic system was already so backed up, and what happens when your lymph backs up is your lymph nodes and other areas of your body that collect lymph, they get backed up as well, because they don't have the bacteria to break down the lymph and to get it to move out of you. So when I had all of the, when I got the dye, basically I wasn't going into detoxing with Dr. Morse thinking that I would get old hair dye out of my head. What happened was I took his lymphatic 1 formula, which is his herbal lymphatic formula, and it's like a lymphatic one. It has like chaparral in it. I'll link it down in the description, but it's a really heavily strong lymph mover, so it really gets the job done. Like it just goes and goes and it moves lymph. So what happened is I took that herb for 3 days, and I just took that herb, and I wasn't even detoxing. I actually was still eating like meat and dairy. So this was like the first week that I ever started the program, and the 3rd day I just started feeling like this weird pressure in my left ear, like just heaviness, like, and just feeling like I was like some pain, like just some weird pain in my left ear. And then I felt like something was bleeding, like some liquid or something I felt come out of my ear. And like I was at a restaurant with my friend, and she looked over at me and she's like, "Megan, your ear's bleeding." And I'm like, "What? Like, what do you mean?" And I rushed to the bathroom, and there's literally this pink purple fuchsia goo coming out of my ear. And it wasn't blood, and I wasn't bleeding. It was literally bright pink, bright fuchsia. So I had the Q-tip, and I put it on a Q-tip, and I put it in a little plastic baggie, because I was just like, what is this? I want to like later like try and find out what it is, because it isn't blood. And I was kind of freaking out because I was on these herbs, and I was just like, what if these herbs are like killing me? You know, I was just kind of freaking out, like what is going on? So anyway, I finish dinner, and I go back home, and I email Dr. Morse, and the next day he gets back to me. He basically tells me that the fuchsia that had come out of my ear, and it didn't come out of my ear, mind you, it didn't come out of like my earlobe. I had like a pimple cyst type of thing on my ear that had formed, and then this like cyst like opened up, and then that's where like all of it just started like coming out from. But anyway, I emailed Dr. Morse. I'm just like, what's going on? I sent him pictures, and he's like, have you ever dyed your hair? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I actually used to have like bright red fuchsia hair for like a few years. And he's like, well, that is your old hair dye that got backed up in the lymphatic system and came out of this close by lymphatic duct that we have, you know, by the side of our neck, by our ear. and it just came out because your body doesn't need that anymore. It's a chemical, so it came out through the use of the herbs, and it's basically just a detox reaction. And I was just like, that does make a lot of sense, because I had dyed my hair that exact color. You know, it was not good hair dye, it wasn't high quality, and it just couldn't be anything else, because again, it was not blood. I know a lot of people are gonna say, you know, you just started bleeding out of your ear, like, what are you talking about? But it was not blood. I know what blood looks like, and it was not blood, and I had my friend look at it. It was fuchsia pink, and I'll put the photo. Unfortunately, this is like 2 years ago when I had an iPhone 5, so the photo like isn't the best quality, but it is, you know, it is extremely fuchsia, and it freaked me out when it happened, but now I'm really happy. And I noticed a little bit of mental clarity after that. I noticed I just felt a little bit better. I felt that my brain fog had kind of dissipated a little bit, and I just felt really good knowing that it had come out. And I haven't since dyed my hair in that way, using anything inorganic. If you're gonna dye your hair, you should really just use like henna, or like, they do sell natural hair dyes, but henna is a really, really good one. And yeah, you just have to understand that things do seep through the skin, chemicals do seep in through the skin, even makeup, even all of that seeps through the skin. So it's important that we keep ourselves clean. It's important that we do occasionally detox. If you guys are interested in the herbal tincture that I use to detox, I'm gonna just have a link right down below there, and you can order that, or just consult me first though, just because, you know, Dr. Morse does put these things out, and they're a detox regimen, so you should know what you're doing, because they are very strong herbs. So, you know, people have experienced much worse things than I have, such as, you know, just feeling the flu-like symptoms, and again, all of that is just mucus and disease coming out of the body. So yeah, and definitely detox isn't something that you should do, you know, forever. I'm not still detoxing. But it is important if you have, we all have chemicals in our body. Again, we all sometimes eat processed foods, and we all sometimes put on makeup, we all sometimes dye our hair. And these things just get clogged in the lymphatic system, and they don't come out until you liquidate the lymph, until you really start to move that lymph. Because unlike the blood, the lymph doesn't have anything that really moves it except your own bodily movement, and herbs and certain foods such as fruit will really liquidate the lymph really, really quickly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you guys find that a really interesting story, and I will definitely be doing more videos in the future about my detox and everything like that. So please subscribe and like, and if you guys could follow my Instagram as well. My Instagram is meganxrose. I would really appreciate that, and I really appreciate all of your guys' support. It's been amazing making these videos, and I'm really, really happy that I'm able to give you guys insight into what I've learned